Hi, good morning all of you. Today we are going to discuss regarding of the FP growth. It is the frequently pattern growth. It is very useful uh, algorithm, and it is useful for the research purpose also. And we are identifying here the given problem statement helpful to understand the FP growth algorithm. You are given a transaction of the data set from a small grocery store. Find the frequent item using the FP growth algorithm with minimum support count is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, here the given transactions for each transaction is the T1, T2, T3, T4 and T5. These are the 5 transactions. For each transaction we have to purchasing different different items. For T1 A, D, B, E, okay, and T2 B, C, D transactions, and T3 A, B, D, E transactions, and T4 A, B, C, E transactions, and T5 A, B, C, D, E. These are the transactions. These are the item sets purchased for each transaction with different customers. Those are the 5 transactions are done by the different customers. For the step 1, I have to count the item frequency. We count the frequency of each item. We count the frequency of each item. For the item set of particular A, it is repeated 4 times. How we can have to identify whether it is repeated 4 times or 3 times or 5 times. We have to check it with the given transactions. For the T1, a transaction is repeated. For T2, a transaction is not repeated. For T3, a transaction is repeated. For T4, a transaction is repeated. For T5, a transaction is repeated. That means for particular item set A, we have got the support count is equal to 4. Okay. In the same way, we have to calculate the rest of item sets for B, C, D and E. For B, the transaction T1 of the item set B is repeated. For T2, B's item set is repeated. For T3, item set B is repeated. For T4, item set B is repeated. For T5, item set B is repeated. That is the item. For particular B item set, the support count is 5. Okay. For support count for particular C item set, it is within the T1 transaction, it is not there. For T2, the item set C is there, and T3 item set C is not there. For T4, item set C is there. For T5, item set C is there because A, B, C, D and E. That means the C is repeated 3 times in out of 5 transactions. 3 transactions out of 5, 3 transactions the C item set is found. That means the support count is 3. In the same way we have to calculate it in for the D and E. For the D, we have the item set D is identified in T1 transaction and T2 also and T3 also and T4 also. T4 is item set D is not there. For T5, item set D is there. Out of 5 transactions, 4 times the item set D is repeated. In the same way, E is also the item set is repeated 4 times for out of 5. We have to follow the step 2. Remove the items below support threshold is equal to 2. All item have support is greater than or equal to 2, so we keep them all. Here we got the support count for each item set is greater than 2. That means you have to keep it all the item sets. And short items we have to follow the step 3. Sort the items in each transaction by descending frequency. In a descending frequency, you have to sort the items and use the frequency order B greater than A greater than D, D greater than E, and E greater than C. We have to follow this descending order frequency for the given transactions. Suppose you are checking with T1 transaction. Here there is an order, given order is A, B, D, E. We have to change it in this order, B, A, D, E, because we have to follow descending order frequency. As per the support count based, we have achieved this order. B is greater than A, and A is greater than D, D is greater than E, and E is greater than C. We have to follow this order for every transaction. The order is changed. Okay, and then for all 5 transactions, the order is changed as per the support count based. For T2, the order is changed. As per the given T2 transaction, the order is BCD. Yeah, here BDC. How it is changed? Because we are following the descending frequency as per the support count based. And T3 also BADE, and T4 BAEC, and T5 BADEC. And step we have to follow the step 4. Build the FP tree. Start with a null root because it is decision tree based. It is a tree based tree structure. Start with a null root. For all 5 transactions, there is no root node. With the null root only, we have to start the tree structure. Add each transaction path one by one. Shared prefixes go into the same branch. I have to explain in a clear way. We can represent the frequently pattern tree in a simplified form, that is a mathematical form. We are starting with a null root. We have to check it out for all with whatever the tree structure. Okay, here B, A, D, E, C. B colon 5 means the B is repeated, the B item set is repeated in 5 transactions. A colon 4 means A is repeated in 4 transactions. And D colon 3 means D is repeated in 3 item sets, 3 transactions. And E colon 3 means E is repeated, E item set is repeated in 3 transactions. C colon 1, the C colon 1 for the particular path BADEC, C is repeated only one time. Okay, and BAEC, E is repeated only one time. C is repeated only one time because C colon 1 BAEC, and for BDC, D is repeated, D colon 1 means D is repeated one time. C colon 1 means C is repeated one time. How we can draw means we have to follow this order. We have to follow sorting ordered transactions. After all the sorting order transactions, we have written the sorting order, descending order transactions. We have to follow descending order transactions. We have to draw the tree structure with the null root, with the following based null root. Okay, and we have to follow the step 5. Generate condition FP tree and mine the frequently pattern. Start from least frequently items in upward. Generate conditional FP tree and mine frequently pattern. Start from least frequently pattern item upward. For item set C, as per the tree structure, BADEC means here BADE for T1 transaction. For T2 transaction, BDC. For T3 transaction, BADE. For T4 transaction, BAEC. For T5 transaction, BADEC. That means for every particular path we are identifying separate tree structure as per the each transaction. BADE means T1 transaction. BDC means for T2 transaction we have drawn the separate D and C. Separate path we have drawn the separate path for B, D, C. Okay. For BADE means it is repeated in same path. BADEC. For BADE. Okay, up to E only, for the T3 transaction. BADE, not C is repeated for in T3 transaction. For T4, BAEC. BAEC means it is repeated somewhat. BA, after that, after A you have to write a separate path for E and C. Okay, and BADEC. For BADEC it is repeated in same path. That means as per scenario, while you drawing a tree structure, for every item set you have to increase the count if it is repeated in same path. If it is not repeated means you have to draw the separate path if the following path is not in a same order. If it is same order means you have to increase the item count of the particular tree structure. Okay. For step 5, generate conditional FP tree and mind the frequently pattern. Start from least frequent item upwards. You have to start from the least frequent items upwards. What is the least frequent item sets? C is there. C is only one transaction and D is also one transaction. E is 3 and D is 3, A4, 5, B5. For the least frequent item upwards means C is we have identified. For particular item set C, the path containing C, the B, D, C, BAEC and BADEC. On basing of the tree structure, the path we have identified here basing of these following transactions of the step 3. In T1, C is not there. T2, for T2 transaction, BDC is there. For T3, C transaction is not there. T4, C transaction is there. BAEC, T5, C transaction is there. That means the BDC for the T2 transaction, BAEC for T4 transaction, BADEC for T5 transaction. For this, construct a conditional pattern base for C and FP tree. Mind the frequently pattern including C. We have to count how many item sets are single item sets of the C is 3, C is repeated 3. You have to pair up the pattern of each path of the decision tree structure. BC is repeated means 3 times. Next, AC is repeated 2 times. Okay. Next, EC is repeated in step 5. EC is repeated in BDC, it is not repeated. BAEC, EC is repeated. BADEC, EC is repeated. That means 2 times. BAC means that is the 3 item sets. Only single transaction is there. BAC is repeated in two transactions. BAC, BDC, it is not there. BEC is there. BADEC, BEC is there. That means BAC means repeated count is for 3 item sets, it is 2. We have to pair up this procedure as per the, we have to follow the tree structure with the least frequency item sets to upwards. The item set C, the path containing of the C, that is the frequent item sets we have observed. Repeat the similar process for E, D and A and B. For item set E, the path containing E is as per the give sorting descending frequency of the, we have to follow the step 3 for this procedure. For item set E is there, within the T1 is there. For T1 transaction E item is repeated and T3 is repeated, E item set is repeated and T4 is repeated and T5 is repeated. How many are there? For the E item set BADE, the path we have identified BADE and BAE and BADE. These paths are identified with the following step 3 procedure, that is the descending frequency. We have got it with the base of support count. That means we have to, after identifying the paths, and we have to construct a conditional pattern base for E and FP tree and we have to mine the frequency patterns for including C. We have to mine it for these paths. We have to identify the single item sets and the double item sets, triple item sets. Like E is repeated 4 times. Next B is repeated. B is repeated for the first path. It is there. Second path B is there, and the third path B is there. Fourth path B is there. Same like for AE, DE, and ADE, and BDE, and BAE, and BADE. That means for all these paths, you have identified have to pair up the on E based only. In the same way, I have to repeat this process for D and A and B. For D, we have identified BAD, BD, BAD, BAD. D is repeated 4 times. BD for the pairing up after giving paths 4 times. AD is repeated 3 times. BAD is repeated 3 times. For item set A, BA, 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 BA. That means A is repeated 4 times. BA is repeated 4 times. For the item set B, or the path containing B is repeated 5 times. Okay, these are the achieved item sets on frequency pattern growth algorithm. Okay, frequency FP growth skips the generating candidate item sets unlike a priori and works efficiency by building a compact FP tree and mine the frequent patterns by exploring conditional trees recursively. Okay, it is very useful and it follows, it is enhancement of the a priori algorithm and it is efficient to work well than the a priori algorithm. That is nothing but it is a frequently pattern growth tree. Thank you all of you, and please subscribe my channel, Jai Sri Ram Education channel. Thank you.